Hello, welcome to Women's Sports Cards, episode number 6. This one is titled, Who is Best, HGA or SGC? Today we're going to do a comparison between what I believe are the two best card graders in the business. I would say by far, because if you look at who I view as 3, 4, and 5, they're really not much in business in this 2021 calendar year. At number 3, I have PSA, the former champion, but as everybody knows, they're backed up big time, and there's no time soon, at least that we know of, that the economy and the value categories will be opened up for everybody. Same thing with Beckett. They also look to be behind 10 to 11 months, as they have been in the past. And the new kid on the block, CSG, congratulations to Blackstone and Jay-Z's Rock Nation on that recent purchase. But they've been falling, behind as a new kid on the block. And word is now that they're 3 to 4 months behind with the backlog and getting worse. And I'm sure that Jay-Z money will help out, help catch them up. But in the meantime, HGA and SGC are meeting all demands. They're making their customers happy. So for all intents and purposes, for at least my women's sports card collection, I have to rank these two 1 and 2 in the business. Today we're going to figure out which one's 1 and which one's 2. So I think the first thing we should go by is cost. We're going to look at what an SGC card costs. It's about $30 per card, and it's pretty good value. It used to be $15 earlier this year, so it's been double the rate, but as you know, all these rates have been increasing dramatically. But I'm going to have to give this edge to HGA. Right here, we got the Alana Smith rookie card, Donruss. This is actually one of the rare ones. It's a gold proof Donruss rookie. I also have a Alana Smith gold prism from 2020. And then 2019, another rookie card of Alana Smith wearing that famous, beautiful dress. And also another gold card, 1 of 10 in the world, the Rookie Press Proof 2019 Panini Donruss. So anyway, with these cards in mind, $20 a pop is a bargain you cannot beat. I'm giving that edge to HGA. Next category will be return time. SGC's return times are 10 days, and it's unbelievable. They're really blowing away the business by having door-to-door treatment of everybody getting their cars back seemingly within 2 weeks. I know I sent a recent order in, and mine came back in 10 days. I've heard some people getting their orders back as soon as 7. You just cannot beat that type of return, especially in these times. HGA is doing quite well. I got my first order back in a couple weeks ago. Got this beautiful pristine Zhu Chen pristine 10 card. I was happy to get that. And it took me, it was 102 days to get that shipment, which compared to the other category, the other graders like PSA, Beckett, and even CSG, that's fast compared to them. The next order I have coming in next week is supposed to make it by the 98-day turnaround, and I'm hearing they're getting faster. So HGA, we give them a big clap, a big kudos, but we have to give this win to SGC and their 10-day returns. The next one will be the look of the card. And again, I really love both of these brands. Over here with the SGC, you've got the beautiful tuxedo look, as they call it, the black and white. It's a classic. Just the frames are nice. Everything about the slab is nice. I just love everything about it. But over here, you just cannot beat the color that you have, like in these Alana Smith cards, these golds that we have. Look at the beautiful rainbow, whether it be in this, the cards, the way they shine, the way they're designed, the labels that they come with. It's really the best in the business. So even though the tuxedos are classic, and with certain cards they're my favorite, overall I have to give that point to HGA. 2 to 1, HGA. Next category would be versatility. I like the HGA cards, but I have to admit, beyond the 21st century, it's hard to use them. They're not grading jumbo cards yet. They're not grading Sports Illustrated for kids cards like this Tiana Taurasi with a perforation on the side. Soon enough, they say they're going to be able to do it, but right now you cannot get it. So when it comes down to versatility, you've got to give SGC the edge. I mean, they're known for vintage cards. They're known for jumbo cards. Look at this Wilma Rudolph card I have. This is from back 1960, and, SGC can grade that card, whereas HGA is not yet capable of doing the jumbo cards or the vintage cards or stuff like that just yet. In time they will, but if we're ranking these by category, and versatility is the department, you have to give it to SGC, not just for the 20th century looks, not just for the variations, how they can go jumbo size or perforation, but also when you look at bulk. I mean, they're able to handle bulk orders right now. And if you needed to get 50 cards graded, they could take the load. Right now, HGA is only taking 9 cards at a time, and you can do that 8 times per month, they say. Now, they've increased their load. It used to be only 5 times a month in a lottery system, but now they're in a queue system. I mean, I'm sorry, the queue system is done with, so now you can place more frequent orders, which is a great coup for HGA. That being said, it's not what the other companies can do as far as SGC or PSA in normal times. But right now, it's not normal times, so you have to give the edge to HGA over PSA and Beckett. But when it comes to SGC versus HGA, SGC gets the nod on that one. 2-2. Next up, I would say the grades. The grades, I have to give the edge to HGA. I think these are the 2 best graders in the business, at least for women's sports cards, when you compare HGA and SGC with the other bunch. Sometimes I think the PSA cards and the women's, they've just given out too many 9s and 10s, especially in difficult to grade cards. There's a lot of cards out there that are Sports Illustrated for kids that you wonder how they got 9s and 10s. I think at some point in the future, those will come back to haunt them. And you have to hand it to SGC, even though you're not always happy with the grades you get. They are fair. They come back and they do a thing. And I think HGA is the same way. When you look at their grades and the way they come back with the AI assisted systems they have, I think they're even better and more accurate. And you got to love the subheads that they include on theirs. There's sometimes with the SGC, I have no idea why they got an 8 or 7 or 6. Whereas with the HGA, with their subheads, you have an exact idea where they're coming from. So I'm giving the edge right there to HGA. The next thing would be resale factor. When you compare the numbers, PSA still outsells everybody, and they're the standard that everybody goes by. But when you compare HGA to PSA, they sell within 90%. They're doing really well, especially with modern cards, whether it's basketball or baseball or what have you. SGC is struggling far behind at 75% on most lists that I look at. Now, that being said, I think that's going to change in time, especially with women's sports cards. Like I say, they average to be 0.85 lower than PSA's grades, but I also find them to be more accurate than PSA. So I think in time, when there are more SGC cards graded than PSA, people will recognize that, and I believe the values will become higher. So right now, even though they're selling at a lesser figure, I do believe in time they will sell at a greater figure. So that being said, I think they're a good investment right now to buy low and eventually sell high. But if you're looking to flip cards and sell them right now, then SGC might not be the one to give you the maximum value in price. That being said, they will give you maximum value in flip around time because no one else can deliver a card to you in 2 weeks. So there, do as you may. But I think we have to give that edge in resale factor to HGA because right now they're just straight up outselling, SGC. And I also believe they have a good future as far as going. So I think in either one, those are the 2 best places to invest your cards in women's sports cards, or invest your grades, I should say. The last category I would give it to customer service. I mean, I think both HGA and SGC have a wonderful customer service staff, as opposed to PSA and Beckett, who are, you really don't get any feedback from them when things go wrong or even when things go right. And HGA and SGC, their ownerships are doing really well, and their customer service is excellent. I mean, Tyler Hitt is one of the best communicative owners out there. The email, the staff they have over there, they're quick to address everything, as is SGC. Very transparent. I love their behind the scenes videos. Both these companies have behind the scenes videos to let you know how they do business. And, compared to the rest of the industry, these two stand out from the rest. That's why I view them as 1 and 2, really. Their customer service is unparalleled. I'm going to give no edge to this one. It just as, SGC and HGA, I think they both do a great job. So, I'm going to call it a tie. So basically, if you go back and look at the analysis, we're going to say that the customer service is a draw. And I'm going to give 2 edges to SGC in both return time. I mean, these cards come back within 10 days. You cannot beat that. And also how they're able to handle versatility, whether it comes to jumbo cards like this Wilma Rudolph, whether it comes to vintage cards like this Wilma Rudolph, or whether it comes to perforation cards like this Michelle Wee. So I'm giving versatility edge to SGC on that one. Now, when it comes to 4 other categories, I've got to give the edge to HGA, and that will explain why they're our ultimate winner. You just cannot beat the cost of $20 per card. I mean, $20 per grade compared to SGC's $30. When you get to the 30, just in 10 card difference, that alone is $100 swing. And that's a big advantage. And SGC, I think, compared to the other brands, they've been able to keep their costs at a reasonable rate. So if you need to grade a bunch of cards, SGC is not a bad option, but you just can't beat the $20 rate of HGA right now. And you have to commend the company for keeping that low. Also, the look of these cards. I mean, like I said, this is one of the most, if not the most beautiful card out there right now. I mean, you just got to love the way these cards, the Solana Smith card with the green dress shines, her rookie card, how it shines, or even this pristine Zhu Chen beach volleyball card, the woman from China, one of my favorites. This is just all these are beautiful cards with beautiful slabs and the labels that match the card. That's why the look, I have to give HGA the edge. Not to mention the grades. Like I said, they're excellent graders, as is HGC, but I have to give HGA the edge for the subgrades. Even though this is a pristine 10, I can recognize the corners are a 9.5. That's the only reason why it isn't flawless. But the surface is a perfect 10, the edges are a perfect 10, and the centering's a perfect 10. And I know that because of the subheads. As great as SGC is, and I do think they do a good job, I think HGA does a great job and is even better. And like I said, the last category I give to HGA is the resell factor. I mean, right now they're selling at 90%. If you look at all the videos on YouTube, most people recognize that HGA is surprisingly matching PSA in a lot of modern day cards, and sometimes as much as 90%, in a similar value, whereas SGC is still struggling at 75%. Like I said, I do believe that will change. I do see that number rising, and I do see SGC competing where this 8.5 or should be just as valuable as a PSA 8.5, if not even more, in my opinion. And I think their SGC is a tougher grader, so I actually would not trade an SGC 8.5 for a PSA 8.5. That being said, I do recognize that the PSA 8.5 sells for a higher figure today, but a year from now, who knows? So that being said, I have the scorebook 4-2 with 1 tie. HGA wins. SGC is a close second. And I think right now for the calendar year 2021, everybody else is a distant third. You really have to commend these 2 companies right now for what they're doing, whether it be HGA and their new kid on the block status, going from a boutique to big business, or whether it be SGC going from vintage specialist to now handling all orders. So congratulations to both HGA and SGC. You 2 are my favorites, and I don't anticipate that changing for the second half of 2021. Please like, please subscribe, please share. Thanks so much for watching, and God bless.